Okay, good afternoon, Gina Musto here again. I want to go over for administrators of districts how you're going to start your year out. Apparently there's been some confusion about how to do this, so I figured I'd do a quick tutorial to help you. When you first log in for the first time in the year, you're going to get this terms of use message as the administrator. Go ahead, you can read through it if you like, and then what you'll need to do to activate the account and get everything started is type your name, the date, and go from there. You can put whatever you want in there, and then obviously you need to agree to the system or the terms of use in order to get in. Okay? Once you get into here, your next order of business is to back up last year. Before you back up last year, though, before you start this year, you need to back up last year. So you're going to do that through the Utilities menu, drag down to Export Data, and then I always go through an Excel file, so I'm going to choose that. And what I'm going to do is click every single possible option here. You're better to have too much pasta on the table than not enough. And when you go through all of that and you click Export, hold on, because the settings, how you set up all of the testing, some of the payment information, all that stuff is already in there for you, which will make things easier moving forward. So I'll export all of that out, and what it's going to do is give you a bunch of links that you can right-click and save target as. Now all of this data is backed up for you moving forward so that you have it in case you ever need to refer back to it, and you're good to go. Alright, so that's the second order of business. The third and final step is to click on Utilities and drag down to Start New Year. When you do this, it walks you through this. It's a matter of reading and following directions. If you leave this section blank, it's going to leave all of the chapters that used to be there from last year in there. If you want to start fresh, you can click yes, and it will automatically upload when you take the data from National Deca and bring it into DLG. You can remove some schedules if you want by checking this, and then obviously you need to type yes in here to start the new year. So deleting all chapters, that's up to you. I wouldn't, but it's up to you if you want to do that. Just leave it blank if you want to leave things as they are. You can remove the schedule definitions in here if you want to, and in order to continue and actually start the new year, you must type yes in here and then click Start New Year. Once you've done that and you come into your main menu, all of the rest of the information that was there is available to you. Because it's already set up from last year and I put some data in here from National Deca, it's already populated. So we do have a couple of schools in here that we did not have last year. And the last and final thing I'm going to show you on this video is how to get information from National Deca. You're going to want to do this multiple times, especially if you have schools that are updating their membership above and beyond the original deadline. But you're going to go into Utilities, then drag down to Import, and then go Chapters from National. And what it's going to do is take a look at what's currently been inputted into the National Deca system, and you want to leave this as default. Click Import Chapters, and on this one there were 3 chapters that were updated, meaning now if I come back into my chapters area and go to the list of chapters, there were updates for at least 3 of the schools that are in our district. Okay, so that's basically how to start the year out. Last thing I want to show you guys is how to set up your registration and to turn your parameters and dates on. Before I show you the how-to, it's important for you to understand that this is strictly an administrator's job, so the teachers that don't have admin privileges will not be able to come into this area and modify anything. So if you're a teacher viewing this video, talk to the person that's in charge of your district to do the following steps. So I'm going to come into Utilities, drag down to Setup Preferences, and then finally Preferences. And it will bring me into this area. I have a bunch of different controls that I'm allowed to put in the parameters for in here. I can set up housing specifications, registration, fees and payment, etc. When you go into registration, you want to leave it the way that it was if everything has stayed the same in terms of what happened last year and so forth. But go ahead and read through these, talk to your counterparts in the district and make sure that you're all in agreement on all of this. And, you know, it's very, very simple. If you click on the information thing, it will explain to you what's going to happen if you click the checkbox. Okay? So for opening and closing, this is how you set that up for your district. You can do a late cutoff date, a soft close, and a hard close. So essentially this means your first deadline and then your real deadline. When you're going to be closing it hard, they're not allowed to make any changes on there without an administrator overriding the system. This is a good way to keep track of any districts that or schools that make changes too late. That will be required to pay a late fee. If you don't choose these dates wisely, they're going to be able to go into the system and make changes without you really knowing about it. You can put your starting date and your ending date. Those are typically the same date for when your actual conference will be. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to 2019 because that's when our actual date is. And obviously the Eastern time zone, you can allow a delete after the soft close. Any additions, like adding students in, I wouldn't recommend that you check that off. And then this last checkbox is the one that a lot of teachers will miss on. You can give them the links and everything, but if this registration checkbox isn't checked, regardless of the parameters in here, they're not going to be able to get into the system to add students. Okay? I haven't discussed with my district what these dates are going to look like, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone. But once you have those discussions and you figure out the timing and so forth, be sure to populate these correctly and also to make sure that you check this box off in order for the teachers to be able to register their students. And then finally, when you're giving the chapters their login information, I'm going to go into, hold on one second. When you first log in, this is, as the administrator, this is your admin privilege dialog or control box to get in to make changes that I was just demonstrating. This is the link that you give to the teachers to get into there to start populating their fields. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let us know. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to the site so that you have it. Take care.